Hey roamers, we're here at the Trees of Mystery in Klamath, California in the Redwoods National Forest.
And the Trees of Mystery was one of our goals to come here. It's not free to get in, but we felt it was well worth it. We're also going to be exploring some of the nearby Redwood National Forest and state parks that are just right up the road.
All on this episode of Roaming with Rosie.
Today we're headed to our next location, Klamath, which is next to Redwood National Park and the state parks that are right there. And so we're super excited. We're going to make a stop in Eureka to fuel up and get some groceries, and then we're on our way. We'll see you at the next park. Hey roamers, welcome back. Our visit to the Pacific Northwest last fall was amazing. So far, we've shown you Humboldt Redwoods State Park and the famous Skunk Train and Steam Festival in Willits, California. You can use this QR code or the link in this video's description to keep up with the series. In this episode, we'll visit the Trees of Mystery in Klamath, California, a nature attraction located in the center of the Redwood National and State Parks. Additionally, we visited Prairie Creek Redwoods State Park about 18 miles south to observe some of the oldest and largest trees in the world. Arriving at Trees of Mystery, you're greeted by a 49-foot tall Paul Bunyan and Babe the Blue Ox, his 35-foot tall friend. We felt this was well worth the admission price for a half day of fun and learning.
Yeah, we're going into Jurassic Park. So hopefully we don't get attacked by a velociraptor or T-Rex. Wait a minute, there's Bigfoot over there.
Oh, he wants to take a picture with you, Jamie. It's your buddy. I mean, we've seen so many Bigfoots here.
Yeah.
They're literally everywhere.
The Trees of Mystery opened in 1946 on private land to educate and entertain visitors to these awe-inspiring giants. We walked below trees as tall as 375 feet, some of them up to 20 feet in diameter, and we journeyed through nearly a mile of groomed interpretive trails to stand in the presence of nature's true giants. On the Forest Experience section of the trail, and at over 2,000 years old, 19 feet in diameter, 60 feet in circumference, and 297 feet tall, the Brotherhood tree is one of the largest living things in the world. It was named in hope for the brotherhood of man. The area in which this tree stands was logged in the 1950s, but this magnificent specimen was spared for some unknown reason. This tree stands on the Forest Experience section of the trail.
If you wanted to get married in the Trees of Mystery Park, you can. And it looks like when you do, I don't know if they put these in for free or if you pay to opt to have a plaque actually commemorating the day that you got married here. So we're seeing a lot of these plaques kind of all over the place right here, so pretty neat. This tree is called the elephant tree. It reminds me of the movie Prometheus, when Noomi Rapace had that creature that implanted itself in her stomach. She took it out. At the end of the movie, it looked like a giant, I don't know, octopus or something. It ended up attacking the engineer at the end of the movie and doing the same thing, impregnating him and making an alien. That's what this kind of reminds me of. Pretty cool tree. It's called the elephant tree here at Trees of Mystery.
but our opportunity to view them from above was the highlight of the park. The Redwood Canopy Trail was what drew us to Trees of Mystery, and it didn't disappoint. After ascending the staircases located at each end of the trail, we came to the aerial netted suspension bridges. These bridges sway gently with your weight as you cross, so if you don't like heights, this probably isn't for you. Connecting many of the old-growth redwoods at mid-canopy level with viewing platforms, it's your best chance to have a view only wildlife have in the redwood forest. Bridges and spiral staircases bring you higher and lower within the canopy of the trees. Ranging from 50 to 100 feet high, there are 10 platforms and 8 suspension bridges.
So we survived the suspension bridges. Today's Friday the 13th, so I don't think we're going to do the gondola. That's man-made stuff. I don't know about that.
Despite the date, we rode the Skytrail Gondola without incident. There's no extra charge to ride, and there's transportation, also at no charge, to and from the ride for those who need it. After exiting the gondola, we had our first view of the treetops.
You can actually see the ocean from up here. You see the fog over top, and then you see the tips of the trees. Cool vantage point. You had to take the stinking gondola to get up here, but it's pretty neat.
From the top, there's a mile-long wilderness trail down. However, there are some precautions, and it's not always open. The Trail of Tall Tales is one of the first trails you encounter after entering the park. Visitors can learn about the outsized tales and adventures of Paul Bunyan through a life-size storybook featuring chainsaw carvings done on redwood slabs.
It's Digger with a stick.
That dog coming up out of that hole is the biggest dog we ever had. Only trouble was, once he got started digging, well, we couldn't stop it.
That's who Sasquatch is.
Jack the Back?
No. That one.
Red Thumb Robbie?
Maybe. Paul Bunyan says, "Come into my gift shop. The only way to exit."
The exit takes you through a snack bar and, of course, all kinds of treats that you can purchase. Attached to the large gift shop, the End of the Trail and Marilee Thompson Smith collection is one of the largest privately owned collections of ancient and modern cultural artifacts of Indigenous Americans. This was a labor of love and is open to the public free of charge. You could easily spend the rest of the day enjoying these important works and handcrafted arts. We still had half a day to explore the area, so we headed south to our campsite at Klamath Camper Corral to pick up Dexter. Klamath Camper Corral is a member of PassportAmerica, so we got 50% off our campsite for our stay there. You can use this QR code here or the link down in the video's description The current promotion will give new members an extra 4 months free added to their membership. Klamath Camper Corral's campsites are all on grass, and without a guide to show you to your site, it would be really hard to find it. It's just a short walk to the Klamath River, which offers some great fishing. Prairie Creek Redwoods State Park was our afternoon destination on this Friday the 13th. And again, the day held more beautiful and amazing discoveries for us. In 1994, the National Park Service and California State Parks agreed to co-manage 4 parks: Redwood National Park, Del Norte Coast Redwoods State Park, Jedediah Smith Redwoods State Park, and Prairie Creek Redwoods State Park. Since Dexter was with us and dogs are not allowed on any of the trails here, we drove the Newton B. Drury Scenic Parkway. It's a 9-mile drive that exits and returns to Highway 101 with beautiful stops along the way. Any vehicle from bicycles to vehicles pulling trailers to big rig motorhomes can drive on this road, with plenty of large pullouts and walking trails along the parkway.
This is the Prairie Creek Trail, and this is an easy walk. It actually looks like it goes a couple miles. We've got Dexter in the car, so we're not going to go all the way, but we'll see what it looks like. Dogs cannot go on the trails here. There's these... Wow, this bridge is a permanent one.
There are thousands of acres of old-growth redwood trees here. 95% of the world's redwood trees have been logged in the last century. These old-growth groves are now only found in smaller, isolated places such as this. We saw many of these trees that are nicknamed goose pens. These trees have had some sort of damage, such as decay or fire, hollow out the inside, yet they're usually still alive. Settlers could keep geese or other fowl in these openings by just putting up a small gate.
And there's still living things growing out of it. It doesn't look real. It feels like I'm on a movie set. Somewhere in England or something. There's just no other way to describe how unreal. I mean, except on a movie set, somebody would yell quiet on the set and we wouldn't hear cars driving by. I think these are the biggest, the most big trees that we've seen in one place on this drive. We've seen bigger trees, but they were alone. See, it appears to twist amongst itself and wrap around itself as it grew. Let's see more down here. Look at the pieces that have grown and twisted and around itself. And the fact that it's still alive. The green shoots out of it every which way.
Our next stop after Corkscrew Tree was to find Big Tree. Traveling south along the highway made that not as easy as it should be. We joined several people who were trying to understand the signage. As it turned out, there was a designated parking lot we would have found if we'd continued south on the parkway. But the short trail we took was worth the views we found there.
So we're on the hunt for the big tree. And is it bigger than this tree? Is it? I don't know.
Actually, 3 trees.
But it was one tree to start, so it's actually one tree. It all has the same DNA. This is what is the coolest thing about these redwoods. Look at this tree. So you would think it's dead, but it's just growing a new tree. And there's the rest over there. They just cut it and cleared the space, and it's just growing a new tree. Prairie Creek Redwoods State Park has 3 scenic drives and 75 miles of trails. It has 2 campgrounds for dry camping, both with potable water, restrooms, and pay showers. Elk Prairie Campground allows motorhomes up to 27 feet and trailers up to 24 feet. It also has 4 ADA accessible cabins available. Gold Bluff's Beach Campground allows for vehicles up to 24 feet long and 8 feet wide. No trailers are allowed there. There's links in this video's description. A wooden platform surrounds the 21-foot diameter big tree, which is estimated to be more than 1,500 years old. There are some highly recommended trails in this area that aren't usually busy, but we'll have to save those for a future return trip here. At the southern end of this drive is the Prairie Creek Visitor Center and a very large meadow known for seeing elk. So you can hike over to the big tree from the Visitor Center, 1.4 miles each way. There's also a parking lot right at the big tree, which we found after we went to the big tree. That's when we discovered the parking lot, because the sign to turn left for Big Tree is like more than half a mile before it.
Yeah.
So it's confusing, but definitely you want to see the big tree however you get there. And we got to the visitor center here in Prairie Creek State Park. We got here just as they closed, which we kind of knew would happen. So they're open 9 to 5. We got here at 5:30. We knew it would probably be closed, but we wanted to stop and see information. And we got some maps. That's what we needed, was maps. But this is Elk Prairie, and there are elk out there, and I guess most of the time there's elk out there. In order to explore the well-known Fern Canyon or Gold Bluffs Beach between May 15th and September 15th, you'll need a permit. They can be reserved online. There's a link in this video's description as well. In 1980, the United Nations designated Redwood National and State Parks as a World Heritage Site and International Biosphere Reserve. This ensures a commitment to greater protection and preservation of more than 105,000 acres of coast redwood forest. These redwood trees seem to survive and grow no matter what nature throws at them. Scientists studying the effects of rising global temperatures have found that the size and longevity of redwoods helps them to store more climate-altering carbon dioxide than other plants. Even old redwoods continue to grow, each year adding more carbon-filled wood than smaller, younger trees. And even after redwoods die, their rot-resistant wood holds on to that carbon for a long time. Thanks for hanging out till the end. And if you enjoyed this episode, go ahead and give that thumbs up a click, because that way it'll help other people find this video.
And we'd really love it if you'd share it with your friends and family if you found this video helpful. And if you're not yet a subscriber, make sure and hit that button down below.
And ring that bell, because that way you'll be notified every time we upload something.
And make sure to leave a comment, that way you could be part of the conversation.
Until next time.
We'll see ya.
See ya.